And so far, 2026 may have been about as much fun as trapping one of your more tender, fleshy parts in a car door, but at least as far as foldable phones go, it's been a bit of a banger. OPPO impressed us all as usual with its excellent Find N6. Motorola released its first full-sized Razr, and it was proper decent. While Honor has finally got around to rolling out this lovely wee bendy bugger right across Europe. The Honor Magic V6 boasts a pair of gorgeous screens, some serious grunt, and one of the biggest batteries of any foldable, despite sporting an impressively slender design. So here's my Honor Magic V6 review, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now, as usual, Honor has spaffed out this flexible sod in a variety of different designs. You've got a bit of white and black action as well as red, and this here gorgeous gold number. That white model is still the slimmest of the bunch, just 8.75mm thick when folded up. And that's a Mosquito's man sausage thinner than the white edition of the Honor Magic V5 from last year, which was 8.8mm. And all of the other colours, including this gold version, are 9mm thick when folded up. So to be fair, only a termite's todger thicker. Although that isn't counting the whopping great camera bump, of course. So the Magic V6, approximately the same thickness as many recent foldable rivals, including Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold 7. And approximately the same weight as well, just 220 grams, which is pretty lightweight, certainly for a full-sized foldable like this. The Honor Magic V6 does sport a slightly more rounded finish compared with that Galaxy Z Fold 7, so it's reasonably comfortable to clutch. And that whopping great camera bump actually works quite well as a finger shelf if you're desperately trying to use this thing one-handed. Now up front you've got upgraded nanocrystal shield display tech, which is tougher than ever, apparently, drop resistant and scratch resistant. Well, somehow I've managed to not fumble and drop this thing these past few months, although as far as scratch resistance goes, certainly good news there. It doesn't have a pre-installed screen protector on it, and yet only a couple of tiny wee nicks on that screen, despite the fact I've generally treated it like utter garbage. And the materials for the back end actually change depending on what colour you go for. So for instance, apparently the red has quite a soft touch finish, whereas here you've got a multi-layer composite design. I think I prefer that soft touch jobby because this gold model is rather smooth, which doesn't really help as far as grip's concerned. And it can occasionally get a wee bit mucky as well. You just need to give it a good buffing up every now and then. And the Honor Magic V6, pretty much the only full-sized foldable phone to sport an IP68 and IP69 dust and water resistance rating. We temporarily immersed in liquid, can also tolerate a full-on spurting, if that's what you're into. But it's a dust resistance that's particularly impressive, can handle all kinds of small particles and grot and bits of, pocket shit. Now up front you've got a slightly larger 6.52 inch external OLED screen, marginally skinnier bezels than the previous generation. And this is the perfect size and pretty much the perfect aspect ratio for enjoying some movies or games on the go. You've got a 2420 by 1080 pixel resolution, full HD, so not quite as sharp as many flagship phones, but I certainly didn't notice a lack of fine detailing when I was checking out my photos or watching telly shows, etc. Got HDR10 and Dolby Vision streaming supported services like Netflix, natural looking contrast, gorgeous looking colours. And that's on that vivid display setting. You can chuck it down to the normal mode if you don't want them quite as poppy. And I really do adore the anti-reflective coating Honor has slapped on here, which is reminiscent of the Gorilla Glass armor finish on the S26 Ultra. As you can see, they're anti-glare, so you've actually got a powerful studio light reflecting directly off that panel right now. You can barely even tell. And this is on quite a low brightness as well. If I actually boosted that up, then it would absolutely kill any sunlight dead. So yeah, if you live in a sunnier, brighter clime than Blighty at the moment, that's for damn sure, then you'll be absolutely fine. It's LTPO tech, peaking at 120 Hz, so nice and silky smooth when you're flipping through all your various apps, browsing the web, whatever else. And also if you are sensitive to that OLED flicker, where you got 3840 Hz PWM dimming, and that is on top of a variety of other eye comfort modes as well to help keep your peepers nice and safe. And naturally, the Honor Magic V6 sports a stereo speaker setup, and it's pretty bloody good. Nice and loud, but no distortion when you hit those peak volumes. And the bass could be a bit bassier, but it's perfectly decent for a bit of YouTube or Netflix or whatever. Of course, if you want to enjoy some music, I'd say, as always, connect to some Bluetooth headphones or speakers, which the Honor Magic V6 usually does just fine when it can actually be bothered. And occasionally I'll go into the Bluetooth menu, try tapping on a speaker or whatever, and the Magic V6 is like, nope, can't be arsed with that, sorry mate. And even rebooting Bluetooth seems to do sod all in those cases. You have to reboot the entire phone to get it working again, but hey, when it does work, works flawlessly. As for that whopping great internal screen, well, this is the same size as the Magic V5, a 7.95 incher, a wee bit smaller than many rivals, but still a good size for playing with multiple apps, and also an ideal aspect ratio for web browsing, reading comics or whatever. Obviously not quite as well suited to movies and telly shows unless you love a bit of letterboxing or you just fancy huge chunks of the action being cropped right out. It's similar, if not identical, OLED tech as the previous generation. You've got the same 2352 by 2172 pixel resolution, so again, perfectly sharp for whatever you need it for. And that central crease is fairly obvious if you're not viewing the screen head on, but in regular use it's practically invisible. And there's only the subtlest of dips when you run your finger over it. And again, the reflections from that internal screen actually aren't too bad at all compared with some rivals like the Galaxy Z Fold 7. As you can see, a lot less obvious, a lot less glare here on the Honor on the right compared with that Z Fold 7. So if you want a foldable you can actually use outdoors quite comfortably, well, the Honor Magic V6 certainly gets my spurt of approval. And just like that front display, it's LTPO tech, 120Hz, PWM dimming, yada yada yada. Now on the software side, of course, as you'd expect from an Honor blower, it's Honor's very own MagicOS launcher slapped on here, version 10, complete with 7 years of OS updates and monthly security patching. What an absolute smasher. Now, you've got a similar vibe to other Chinese launchers like ColorOS. You've still got your Google Discover feed, but if you drag down, pull down the notifications panel and then swipe to the side, you've got your control center. Very little crapware, although Honor does offer up its very own app market. And oh yes, an absolute shagload of obligatory AI shenanigans, including all the usual stuff, bit of AI subtitling, translation. There's certainly some worthy entries, including a bit of AI deepfake and voice cloning detection, which mercifully haven't had to use myself yet. That's supported in a small variety of apps where you might possibly get one of these scammy gits popping up, pretending to be your mum or whatever. And of course, one of the joys of these massive foldable gits has been able to launch several apps in quick succession. And Honor does allow you to open up 3 apps side by side, using them pretty much full screen. So a similar sort of vibe to what you'll get on many other full-sized foldables. However, I have found it's not quite as smooth and satisfying doing the old multitasking here on the Honor Magic V6 compared with some rivals like the OPPO Find N6 for instance. So for one, some apps such as Google Chrome for instance simply do not support split screen multitasking. You have to open it in a floating window like so. And yes, that's even the case if you jump on into the settings, just push that way to the side for now. Go to foldable phones, go to force multi-window. If you select all, this does force quite a few apps to open in split screen mode, but you'll see that Google Chrome is not among their number. But otherwise, works fine. You can swap apps in and out quite easily just by replacing them like so. And the odd bit of bulky behaviour here and there from MagicOS as well. Like I told you before, occasionally you just can't be asked to connect to Bluetooth devices. Sometimes an app will go a bit shonky or whatever, but you know, fairly standard stuff. And bugger all complaints on the storage, because you've got 512 gigs of the stuff as standard here. Not expandable via micro SD, but it'll take you bloody ages to fill that up unless you're shooting a lot of 4K video or downloading several massive great gits like Wuthering Waves. 50 fricking gigs that is now. I get the feeling I'm probably only going to see about 1 or 2 gigs worth of the actual bloody world. I still have no idea what I'm doing in that game. And speaking of Wuthering Waves, I should probably bang on about the performance for a bit. And what you got stuffed in here is the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, the proper full-on 8-core version. That's backed by a whopping great 16 gigs of RAM. So perhaps unsurprisingly, running several apps at once, absolutely a breeze for the Honor Magic V6. And yes, if you do want to do gaming on this thing, well, no worries there either. With a beefy bugger like the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 in charge, even proper hardcore mobile games like Wuthering Waves play absolutely beautifully. And that is when you max out the graphical settings, flip everything up to 11, handles it all very nicely indeed. The frame rate stays nice and stable in the high 50s quite often. And that's even if you're gaming for a good wee while, because Honor has managed to cram a decent sized vapor chamber in here. And while the outside bits of the phone, especially around the camera area do get rather toasty when you are gaming for a while, so absolutely no performance throttling whatsoever. And as usual, you've got that MagicOS gaming mode, which you can lean on as well. And cancel out notifications, you can record all of that hot anime action. Now, even though this here Honor Magic V6 is just as stupidly slim as the previous generation, Honor has actually managed to enlarge the battery capacity for this generation to 6,600 milliamp hours. Good old silicon carbon tech, gotta love it. So that's happily beaten off rivals. Gotta stop saying beaten off rivals, that's all kinds of wrong. Happily beaten all of its foldable rivals, including the likes of the OPPO Find N6 and the Motorola Razr Fold, which sport a sort of 6,000-ish milliamp hour battery, still pretty impressive. And it's certainly a damn sight better than Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold 7 as well, with its meager 4,400 milliamp hour battery. So if you can't keep off your blower, well, certainly the Magic V6 will suffice. That battery life just trickles down with regular use, even when you're using that massive great internal screen, for instance, reading comics or browsing the web. With a 100% battery charge and that screen brightness set to around 2/3, you'll still enjoy about 14 to 15 hours of comics action before that battery is finally depleted. However, do bear in mind that gaming wipes that battery considerably faster. You'll get just over 3.5 hours of playing on Wuthering Waves on the maxed out graphics settings, mostly on the outer screen, before a fully charged battery is completely drained. And that's actually pretty poor compared with a lot of just like regular flagship smartphones. But the good news is, if you do find yourself running low on juice, well, no worries, just bung a cable in it. You've got 80-watt wired charging on here, so nice and nippy. And if you frankly think that USB cables offer plebs, well, no worries, you've also got 66-watt wireless charging support. Now, one aspect of the Honor Magic V6 that hasn't really been upgraded versus the old V5 is that camera hardware. It's only slightly different. You've still got a 50 megapixel main sensor. You also got a 64 megapixel telephoto shooter. That's now a larger 1/2-inch sensor. And finally, a 50 meg ultra wide angle shooter. And you know what, that camera hardware didn't really need much tinkering with anyway, because it's pretty bloody good stuff for a foldable smartphone, certainly. That telephoto shooter is excellent for getting a bit closer to your subject when they're, pretty far away, but also if they're a wee bit timid. Certainly one of the best zoom setups on any foldable that I've tested, right up there with the OPPO Find N6. As usual, Honor does tend to follow the iPhone school of bright and bold pictures, though not quite to the same degree with quite as much saturation unless you are shooting against a powerfully bright backdrop. The colours are generally fairly poppy, but if you would prefer a more authentic finish, you can always swap to the natural mode instead. And even in quite soft light, the Magic V6 tends to capture a crisp image, only a slight loss in colour details and none of that yellowy, warmy tint that you get with many rivals. And of course, if you're dexterous enough to handle it, you can take selfies using that rear camera setup as well. Annoyingly, I can't get the hand gestures to work with the rear camera. That only seems to work with the selfie cameras, but you can push in the volume down button to take a selfie instead. And ooh, who's a pretty man? Sure isn't me. As for your video type shenanigans, well, you can record it up to 4K resolution with that rear camera at up to 60 frames per second. Again, you can shoot a bit of vlogging action this way, using that cover screen as a sort of preview. And at that peak resolution, the stabilization remains beautifully smooth, visuals are nice and crisp, the focus is rarely fooled, and you can swap between all three sensors on the fly, even with HDR video switched on. The audio is clearly snatched from all directions as well. So certainly a wee smasher for all your home movie shenanigans. And then finally, you've got yourself a pair of 20 megapixel selfie cameras here on the Honor Magic V6, one on the whopping great internal display, one on that external display. You can record up to 4K resolution video at 30 frames per second. This time it's fine for you, a bit of online video chatting or whatever. Not the best picture quality ever, but again, the audio pickup absolutely fine. And there you have it, meinen Freunden. Sorry, I got no idea why I went all German there. Too much sausage and Erdinger probably. But aye, there you have it. That tasty wee nutshell is the Honor Magic V6 finally rolling out globally. And what a splendid wee bendy blower it is. Battery life is absolutely a highlight here. That camera tech dependable as always. Slick performance as well. Just a few quirky bits here and there, mostly to do with MagicOS. It's pretty much my only qualm. Anyway, it would be great to hear what you guys reckon of the Honor Magic V6. Please do tappity tap your comments down below. And hey, while you're down there, why not poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Make sure you have yourselves a bloody wonderful rest of the week. Cheers, everybody. Love you.